Hello everyone and welcome back to more Mystic Destinies. We are back for more, back in Hikaru's route, or Hikaru's first book, Shattered. Yes, we are still going on, we're still going strong because in the last episode we didn't end off on a game over. Instead, the game played us and we were transported to this different realm by a familiar face. We meet Galinn of all people. He brought us back from the nothingness. He explained to us, he kind of broke the fourth wall a little bit by taking us through all the places we've been through for each of the guides that we've done, and eventually, bringing us to this realm of chaos or whatever the hell that he lives. Anyway, and also he revealed the fact that he is the god of chaos himself that we've been hearing so much about from other people in different routes. So we're like, oh my god, what the hell? So he revealed that the goddess who tore Hikaru's soul apart or something like that. She didn't exactly destroy everything. She just kind of scattered the pieces into the different universes that is later revealed to have existed. So yes, there are multiple me's, multiple us's in different universes where we got together with Sho, got together with Shinji, got together with Tatsuya and Takumi. And so our job is to basically go into these different cosmos, as you can see, and to find Hikaru himself in that route, and to get the piece of soul that that had attached itself to the next familiar object or person, which is the other Hikaru. So we gotta rescue our Hikaru in this realm by going to the other Hikarus in a different realm. So last episode we went to Sho's route first, and of course with anything, Galinn was with any universe jumping and shit like that. Yeah, Galinn warned us that hey, if you want to do this, you really want to save Hikaru in this realm, you have to probably fuck shit up in other realms and shit like that. So yes, so we're like, okay, we get it, we'll do whatever it takes. So yes, so we go into the Cosmos of Phoenix first with Sho. Met Hikaru there during Veredas, and Galinn helped us a little bit by screwing up the timeline in which he was supposed to be on a date, but then turns out that Galinn catfished him. And then we went off to a different bar. We tried to explain the story to him. Of course, Hikaru didn't believe us until his mom showed up. So his mom showed up, said yes, this girl's telling the truth, and he's like, okay, never mind. So he gave us a piece of the soul. Except we thought when we were done, we were like, I think Galinn was like, no, you gotta go visit him again because he appeared the second time around when we got kidnapped by Edelweiss, and everybody else showed up to help us escape, and that's when Sho revived himself to become a Dark Phoenix. Except this time, when we were trying to escape our bounds from Edelweiss, and Galinn stepped in with divine intervention, and then TSUNEKA shows up, and she was like, this is not going according to my plans, so I'm gonna fuck shit up for you. So she ended up reviving Sho, not the way that he was meant to come back. So it turns out he was this kind of angry looking phoenix, and he's trying to attack us. And then that's when everyone else showed up, and then that's when we were saying, hey, TSUNEKA did something in the show, he's not supposed to act like this, he's not supposed to have revived this way. And so we explained our situation again, our whole story to that Hikaru at that moment. Everyone else is really confused, but we were like, hey, we just gotta go because we need your soul shard, and then hopefully you guys can fix this. Well, Hikaru was almost gonna kill Sho because he was like, okay, you revived, clearly you came back wrong, so we're gonna kill you again, and hopefully you'll come back okay the next time. But we're like, no, everyone's like, no, don't do that, that's a last resort kind of thing, let's try to save him in a different way first. So we convinced him of that, and that's what happened. So we got his soul shard, then came back, and now we are going to head off to a different universe. Except now we are going to go into the order that we kind of romance the guy. That's my plan of how I'm gonna go about tackling this. So yes, so the next cosmos we're gonna visit is the Cosmos of the Dragon, which is Tatsuya's route. So I wonder what the hell we're gonna screw up here. Probably, maybe, what's it called? What's his name? I totally forgot his name. That one guy that tried to take over being the head of the clan. Maybe he'll succeed this time around. Anyway, so a seated man with awkward hair looks up as I walk up to him. He stands up in one fluid movement. Oh, this is where we're meeting him for the date, right? So, what? Who is this even? This is so disorienting. I don't think I'll ever get used to it, right? Because every single time she jumps back into these universes, she has to take over herself, but she doesn't, obviously she's never met any of these people before, so she's like, oh, who the hell is this guy? A pleasure to see you again, Hana. Yes. He smoothly, easily takes my hand and plants a kiss on the back of it. My skin tingles under the heat of his lips. Yes. What the hell? Who is this? This better not be my boyfriend. No, it's not. I hear a distant fading voice in my head call back. Yes, so boyfriend? No way. Yes, conversing with ourselves again. Our present self and our, this universe self. So allow me to formally introduce myself. Okay. So he lets my hand go a little too slowly, his fingers tickling my skin. He gives a small mocking bow. What is this? Okay, so this is not our date with him. This is maybe after our little meeting in the office, maybe? Katsunosuke, yes! His name is Katsunosuke. Katsunosuke Kasuima. I'm the scion and current leader of the Kasuima family, yes. Which is, of course, very large, very old, very rich, and all that, yes. And I guess I'm supposed to be impressed? No, well, no. Well, when he stands back up straight again, he smiles down at me, yeah. His voice sounds so smooth and practiced, I can tell right away this guy knows his way around women. Yes. You're looking very cute tonight. Okay, so this is the date. Yes? Oh my god. Did you just down a little for me? Did you just down a little more for me? Yes. Okay, so yes, this is the date. This is definitely the date. So for you, why would I do that for you? Right? You're not that special. Don't give yourself so much credit. Oh, well, aren't you a feisty one? I opened my mouth to reply when I realized that I recognized the person who was sitting next to Katsunosuke at the bar. Yes, this is where Hikaru. Oh yes, this is where Hikaru shows up. Great, but we gotta get rid of Katsunosuke in order to talk to Hikaru about this shit. Yes, Yes, without me even noticing, Hikaru has been sipping his coffee there the whole time. Whoa, I already found him. How lucky is that? Yes. I hope he doesn't get the wrong idea about me and this guy. Yes. Wait, why should I even care? Well, yeah, true, but still. Katsu cocks his head to the side. Oh, do you know him? Yes, I do. I'm one of her professors, actually. I don't know, but what's it called? When his mom showed up, she gave us this earring that says, hey, whenever you meet all the other Katsus in the different universes, just show him this, and then, I let him know that, what's going on and shit, so they will believe you more easily. So I don't know, did he get the memo? Yeah, I'm one of her professors, actually. Hikaru smiles up at me from his seat. Good evening, Lee. How are you? Yes. I'm good. Sorry, Professor. I didn't see you there. Do you know this guy? Yes. Do you know him? Hikaru shakes his head. No, yeah, he doesn't. They were just chatting it up while they were waiting for me. I just met him, actually. Yes. We were just having a chat about all the recent troubles between Fae factions of Avalon before you came in. Yes. Oh, okay, I see. Yes. That's nice and all, but how do I get rid of this blue-haired guy so I can talk to Hikaru alone? Right? I need to get rid of him. Alright, so I think I'm supposed to be meeting up with this guy though. Yes, you are, but things have changed now. Plans have changed. So I have no idea how to get rid of the Katsu guy, but I figure I can at least keep Hikaru here as long as possible. I'm surprised to see you here, Professor. Do you come here often? Yes. Yep, I'm actually a regular here, especially when weekends are kind of slow for me. Yes. Katsu laughs silently. I can understand the feeling. Yeah, yet another womanizer. They must be such good friends. While I'm looking at anywhere other than Katsunosuke, my eyes drift over to the coffee house's front doors. 2 more people with blue hair walk in. Yes, Tatsuya. Huh? What are they doing here? Yes. Well, she's here to get a job with Tatsuya. He glances at me and smiles as he continues. But this weekend I got lucky. Yeah, oh, gross. I can clearly hear Chisaki speak to the barista. I'm here to see Galinn about a job for my son. Yes. Would you please go and let him know I'm here? Hikaru suddenly stands up, bringing my attention back to the 2 men before me. Haruka's soft voice comes into my head then. She's like, don't let him get away! Yeah, don't let him leave! Sounds right, don't let him leave! Because this is exactly where he leaves. Galinn's deeper one follows. Carefully, chaos has saturated this timeline already. Oh, has it? The sensation of the gods' voice cutting into my mind makes the hair stand up on the back of my neck. After what happened last time, I know that neither the chaos nor TSUNEKA is something I want to run into. It was good chatting with you, Kasima. No, come back! Now, if you excuse me, I'll leave you to enjoy your date. No. Desperate, scared, and at a loss for anything else to do, I stand up so fast I knock the chair over. Katsu's eyes look down at the chair and then back at me, but I don't care about him. I hurriedly grab Hikaru's wrist, who looks at me like I'm a mad woman. Start explaining, show him proof, ask him to go somewhere private. Let's go somewhere private! I mean, I don't want to make a scene in front of this guy. Like, he's gonna be like, what the hell is going on? But then again, like, if I just show him this, then he'll know something's up kind of thing. Or he'll freak out and be like, where did you get that? I don't know. Cause if we ask him to go somewhere private, he'll be like, what are you talking about kind of thing. Like, why would you need to do that? And then of course, Kasanosuke's gonna jump in and be like, hey, what the hell's going on here kind of thing. Show him proof. I pull out Haruka's earring and immediately show it to Hikaru. He briefly glances at the earring in my hand, but I can only guess if he's recognized it or not. Please, whatever it is that you want to talk to me about will have to wait, Lee. Oh, okay. Well, at least he gets it, I guess. I have somewhere to be, so can we talk about this later? I don't know about later. It's a good time. You can come by my office during office hours and we can discuss it then. You should just enjoy your date now. I'll see you later. Maybe that's his hint to just kind of like, you know, I don't even know. I can't read this guy. Professor, wait. I try to grab Hikaru again, but he avoids me and Katsu grabs my other arm. Don't you think you're being beyond rude? Right. I won't stand here and be disrespected like that. Right. I'm so sorry. But things change, yo. I scowl back at Katsu and try to shake him off. I need to get to Hikaru. But Katsunosuke doesn't budge. He won't let me go. I feel like this is the same thing. I feel like that might have been, this might have happened even if I had said to go somewhere private to talk to him. You know, I think like he would have been like, no, he would have brushed me off some way. Okay, so suddenly Tatsuya is at my side. Yes. He roughly rips away Katsu's hand away from mine and pushes me behind him as he steps in between us. Yes, because we had a thing going on with Tatsuya. Aren't you supposed to have a lot more experience with women than this? Oof. If she doesn't want you, you just have to accept that. Yes. Say no. No means no. This has nothing to do with you, so I suggest you exit the conversation, Snowflake. Oh. Chisaki suddenly appears next to her son. She's like, hey now. Tatsuya's right, you need to learn how to treat a lady. Right? If a lady decides she's done with you, you must gracefully accept her decision. Right. Still, I think it's best if we leave. I wouldn't want to cause any more of a commotion at Gal's place. I look around, noting that all the patrons have stopped to watch the scene unfolding between us. Oof. Chisaki herself takes my hand. Come on, Hana. Yes. Okay. She begins to lead me outside, leaving an outraged Katsu behind. Ooh! I didn't like him anyways. Tatsuya stares at him with his arms crossed, blocking him from following us as we leave. Okay. Thanks, Chisaki. Homegirl's always got my back, but like, what now? I'm so glad Chisaki and Tatsuya appeared when they did. It seems like dealing with that guy on my own would have been too big of a distraction. And too much trouble. Jesus. Now I can chase after Hikaru at least. Even if he doesn't deserve it because he acted like kind of a jerk to me. Okay, yeah. That was weird. Wait, I stop and look up at the sky. What? Huh? How did it get dark so fast? Was it supposed to be dark? Chisaki stops just a few steps away from me and looks up at the sky with a frown. It shouldn't be so dark, not yet. Unless, it's winter and, daylight saving and shit. But I don't think that's the case. Wait. Wow, you. I turn to see Katsunosuke run out of the building and Tatsuya rushing after him. Before I can say anything, I suddenly feel strange just for a moment. Uh-oh. It lasts for a second, if even that, but it makes the hair stand up on the back of my neck. I feel compelled to turn around just as the sound of clapping reaches my ears. Oh, I knew it. I had a feeling too. It was Tsuneka. Tsuneka's about to show up. My blood runs cold. Yeah. Ah. There, walking in between us and the two men, is Tsuneka. Bravi. Isn't it bravo? I don't even know. Oh, but I have to deal with this bitch again. How the hell is she gonna fuck shit up this time? You truly all have put a wonderful show. I was starting to get a bit bored, but you... Oh, Tsuneka points at Tatsuya. You certainly know how to liven things up, don't you, big boy? Oh god, oh fuck, where did she come from? She does that, okay? Has she been here the entire time? Maybe. Wait, is this what Hikaru and Galinn were trying to tell me? Is this what Haruka and Galinn were trying to tell me? They could have just said so. I bet you have a lot of anger boiled up. I bet you have a lot of anger bottled up all neat and tight under that nerdy sweater vest. Wow. Tsuneka giggles. How do you look without it anyway, your true form? Are you just as cute and controlled? Heh, I doubt it. You half-dragons were a miserable creation, really. Oh, what the fuck? All that unbridled power and emotion and only a weak human mind to control it. Who the hell are you and what do you want? Uh-oh. Kay, calm down. This woman, she may be horrible, but she's not what she seems. Well, she is horrible. Not maybe horrible, but she is horrible. Wow, a smart one. Anyway, don't get your dragon panties in a bunch. I like to take my time. Hee hee. Galinn, what do I do? She's gonna do something and I don't know what to do. I scream in my head for help, but it's Haruka that replies to me. I'll try to call Hikaru to come back and help. Okay. I can hardly even think anything more before Tsuneka points to Katsunosuke. Snowflake may get pissed as hell. But you don't get pissed enough, right? Uh-oh. Apathy. That's just not a good look, especially on a half-dragon. Uh-oh, okay, so she's gonna do something to him, not Tatsuya. What? You've got to embrace your emotions. With that, Tsuneka staring hard at Katsu tilts her head slightly. Oh my god, what if she actually turns him into a dragon? Like physically. Oh no. Katsu suddenly stiffens, his arms dropping to his side. With his stiff posture and relaxed arms, everything about it strikes me as odd. Oh shit. For a moment, his head drops down, I can't see his eyes, and I feel like I can't breathe. What's happening? The air around us feels heavy as a strange barrier forms around us. A barrier! Oh my god. Oh my god. Suddenly his head snaps back up, his eyes, they're strange, different. Oh no, she's controlling him. His eyes have a strange glow and slowly I turn to Tsuneka, hoping that my fears are unfounded, but her eyes have the same sort of glow. Of course. Oh, well, this is better than an actual dragon, but like he's still, you know. There's a sudden flash of light and Katsu stands before us in his true form. Yes, this is still trouble. I barely blink before I hear Chisaki yell from behind me. Watch out! Oh god. Katsu sends one of his water dragons straight at me. Oh my god. I throw my hands up, creating a barrier around myself just a split second before it can hit me. The water dragon snaps and claws at my barrier without pause. I can feel my arms shake with each of the water dragon's attacks. But no matter how many times it attacks, the barrier holds strong, mostly. Of course, it's not gonna last. I feel something's off, though, as the barrier shivers. My eyes scan for any cracks, any weaknesses. As a second water dragon flies straight for me, and in that moment, I know that my barrier can't hold off two of them for long. Oh. Tatsuya, help me! In a flash of light, Tatsuya transforms and jumps in front of me, diverting the second dragon away from me. It crashes into the ground, its draconic form falling apart upon impact with his sword of ice. Okay. Alright. Despite Tatsuya distracting Katsu, I keep my barrier up as I watch them. For a moment, neither one of them moves, carefully watching the other for even the slightest twitch. I take my chance to observe Katsu. His eyes, yes, he's under control. So maybe if you like push her or like do something and make her lose control of it, then he'll stop. I glance at the happy-looking Tsuneka and I feel like I've been punched. Yes. She's controlling him, isn't she? Like some little puppet that she decides to play around with. Yes. That has to be why he feels so strong. Yeah, no shit. My eyes dart around the scene, looking for anything to help break Tsuneka's hold on Katsunosuke. Everything around us is frozen, standing completely still. It's if time only flows for us. Well, she is the weaver of time, so it makes sense. Chisaki watches the two from a distance, and I can only guess what's going on in her mind. Yeah, she's like, fuck, what do I do? Oh no, she's going in too. Damn. She gently touches her earring and transforms into a beautiful. It transforms into beautiful clothing. I assume is her magical gear. So even she'll be dragged into this fight. Yes. Well, what else is she gonna do? The two half-dragons seem to go toe-to-toe, not missing a single beat. Tatsuya seems to give as good as he gets. Katsu's water dragons circle around Tatsuya, each one rushing to snap at him, but Tatsuya doesn't stand still. Tatsuya twists and turns, dodging every single attack aimed at him. His moves are so fluid that I become transfixed in watching their deadly dance. Well, you can at least offer him some like defensive support. But something shifts in the air. What? In the split second that Tatsuya turns his back to Katsunosuke to avoid the attack of one of the water dragons, Katsu conjures a third one. Oh, wow. Okay. It moves so fast that I can't even yell for Tatsuya to watch out. Chisaki, help! That dragon quickly lunges at Tatsuya, sending him flying from the impact. Tatsuya crashes into the side of one of the buildings. Oh my god. Okay, oh my god, this is a mess. What do I do? What do I do? Hikaru is here, but he can't get through the time barrier that Tsuneka has set up. Oh well, I accidentally hit my headphones. But anyways, I figured. Because we do got a barrier, we gotta remember that. Haruka's gentle voice whispers into my mind. Don't fret, he is working on it. Okay, I hope he gets on it fast. Chisaki looks to her son's unconscious form. She takes a hesitant step towards him, then stops. With her eyes burning in quiet rage, Chisaki pushes her hands out in Katsunosuke's direction. Out and up her hands move gracefully, purposefully, weaving some invisible spell. What kind of dragon is she? Probably ice as well, maybe? The ground around Katsu splits open and spikes of ice shoot out around him, trapping the water dragon in an icy prison. Yes. Oh wow, nice. Katsunosuke slices through the ice with a thin water whip, easily freeing himself. He directs his conjured water dragons at Chisaki. Oh girl. As they rush towards her, she quickly turns one to ice, causing it to fall to the ground and shatter upon impact. The other dragon lunges at her, but she easily puts up an icy barrier. As the dragon makes contact with it, it immediately turns into ice. Tsuneka! Oh, a familiar voice cuts through the battle, making everyone pause and look at the source. Are you here? As my concentration falters, so does my barrier. Oh, Hikaru appears on the scene, but his eyes are only locked on Tsuneka. Yes, he got through, yes! A sudden chill runs down my spine. Oh, girl, you're distracted, which means Katsunosuke's gonna get a jump on you. What? What? Yep. The mind-controlled Katsu takes his chance the moment I stop paying attention to him. He grabs one of the icicles of the ground. What? He grabs one of the icicles of the ground and runs at me, icicle aimed right at my chest. Oh, fuck. Hana, don't jump in my way, girl! Don't do it! Chisaki gets in front of me, throwing a hand out to block it with an ice shield. Okay. Oh, fuck! No, shit! I knew this was gonna fucking happen. Fuck! However, due to the sheer force of the attack, it breaks right through her ice shield and through Chisaki. Oh my god. She gasps and chokes, her hands weakly grasping at the icicle pierced through her chest, even as Katsu holds onto it. She doesn't let go and instead, wincing, grabs onto the icicle. The ice begins to quickly climb up Katsu's arm. He struggles to break free, but Chisaki doesn't let go. Oh, within seconds, he is completely covered in ice, frozen in his tracks. Oh my god, the ice begins to spread even further still, slowly covering Chisaki herself. What? What? Oh no, 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 what's happening? What do I do? What do I do? Her strength clearly leaving her, Chisaki begins to draw breaths and gasp. Don't worry. I'm happy I could save you two. What the fuck, girl? Take care of Tatsu. I can't because I'm not who you think I am. What the hell? I knew this was gonna happen. I knew something dramatic was gonna happen. Someone's gonna end up dying, and I was right. What the hell? Her final words are a whisper amongst the crackling ice as the rest of her body freezes solid. As I stand there dumbfounded, I realize Hikaru is standing next to me. Yes. His face looks how I feel, still in shock at the scene that unfolded before us and the two frozen figures left as a result. And of course she's like laughing. We turn to Tsuneka who gives a little salute. She's like, my job here is done. Yo, Hikaru. And then she simply isn't there anymore. Yes. There The area turns back to normal and it all feels so damn anticlimactic and empty. The ground is wet, slick with water and ice everywhere, the only evidence of what happened here to ruin 3 lives. Yes, Hikaru immediately erects another barrier to keep people from seeing or entering. I drop to my knees in a daze as people gather around the edges of Hikaru's barrier. He sadly looks on at the 2 frozen figures. I shouldn't have left. Well, yeah. I shake my head, barely aware of myself or anything. Is there anything you can do to help Chisaki? Maybe. It's likely that she froze herself to stop the bleeding. Okay, ice for a dragon of her kind has an effect like warm blankets. Ice for a dragon of her kind has an effect like warm blankets do on other creatures. Oh, okay, so yeah, I was like, she's an ice dragon. He sighs. So it would be extremely risky to defrost her right now. Yes, that's true. It's an ice dragon's way of slowing time. Will she be okay? Will they be okay? Hikaru shakes his head. Tatsuya seems fine other than unconscious, but he's not gonna wake up happy. Oh, but what about Chisaki? Yeah, I'm more worried about her. I can't bring myself to ask about her out loud. And Hikaru doesn't seem to be able to bring himself to mention her condition further either. Please be okay. I hear a gentle voice in my head. You have to go. You don't want Tsuneka to come back. Yes, I can sense it. You can gather his soul fragment now. I squash down my overwhelming feelings and stand up. Easily summoning Haruka's earring to my palm, I show it to Hikaru, who only nods dully. I figured it out when I saw Tsuneka. Really? You didn't figure it out when I showed you the earring? What the hell? He quietly performs the soul fragment ritual and I capture it in the box as it appears. Maybe it would, I don't even know. I don't even know what would happen if I actually just blurted out everything in front of everybody. I don't even know. I stare at the box in my hands and with a deep breath, I will it away to safety. Like, either way, I feel like he would have been like, I don't want to believe you, and people would be like, what the hell are you talking about? I'm going to leave now. Yeah, Hana, unlike before. I promise I'll work diligently to save Chisaki. Okay. His voice sounds hollow though, but I don't want to think too deeply into it, so I nod. I feel a tug on my shoulder once more, but even as my being is pulled away from this timeline, I can't stop thinking. What have I done? Those 2 risked their lives, may have given their life to save this Hana because they cared about her so much. While I was only focused on what I wanted, I was so reckless. I'm sorry, Tatsuya. I'm sorry, Chisaki. And I'm sorry to this Hana and this Hikaru too. How heavy will my sins be at the end of this? I have no idea. I reassume my own body and immediately fall to my hands and knees. Well, he did say, yeah, Hana, it was all fucked up. It went so wrong. I don't know, not entirely. You did succeed in the end. 1 more soul fragment collected. Do you know, are you able to look through time and see if it'll be alright? Even if I could, what would be the point? You can't undo the past. Well, I can, technically, by going back to do these things, but anyways, whatever, we're gonna continue and see through it to the end first. Then who can? Can't you, Galinn? Nope. I am the god of chaos. I can see all the potential paths and ends, but that does not give you the answer you seek. What? And there are certain things that you must find out on your own. Yes. There's one person who can restore time, which is her, Tsuneka. You don't mean... Yes, it's her. Yes, Tsuneka no Mikoto is her chosen name. She's also known as the Weaver of Time. Yes. Well, that's useful as crap. Surely there are other gods who can do it. Nope. Only her. Gods and goddesses who can manipulate the flow of time are extraordinarily rare. Yes. Besides Tsuneka, there's only one other I ever knew that existed. Tokyo, her dead lover. Oh, and she's the one who's getting mad. Tokyo, her dead lover, and of course this is exactly why she's so fucking psychotic now. He was a time god too. Yes, he was much younger than Tsuneka though. When he was born, I'd heard she had little interest in him. I'm not sure how they came to be together later on exactly. How did he die? Oh, it's a long, sad story. Well, I need to hear it in order to fucking understand her, Jesus. A story for another time, perhaps. Time. Oh, this fucking time shit. But now it's time for you to collect the rest of the the rest of the missing soul fragments. Yes, we have much work to do. The sooner you get his soul fragments, the higher the chance that you can avoid running into Seneca again. Keep that in mind. Oh, right. I nod as I start to feel that familiar feeling of my soul being pulled to another timeline. Oh wow, okay, so we're done Cosmos of the Dragon really fast. Well, again, anyways, I think that was the only time we really did see Hikaru. And I totally even forgot that we saw him that time. Anyways, I think Cosmos of the Esper, we saw him at the bar with Shinji. But other than that, I can't remember anything else. But we didn't see him. We saw less and less of him ever since we kind of progressed from, show's route. Anyways, and let's continue on. Perhaps we can smoosh in Cosmos of the Dragon and the Esper together as one because it's pretty short. I feel like it's too short. So anyways, I'm walking this time behind someone with magenta colored hair and a broad back. Shinji! My bae! Shinji? Yes. Who are you? Oh, I'm the other you from a different universe. Awkward. I'm you, but stronger. No time for memeing. No. Seriously? Yeah, literally. So could you go away for a bit now? I need to borrow your body. What the hell? No way. Yes way. Listen, you listen here. Listen, you me. Shinji stopped so abruptly then that I almost walked face first into his back. Took you long enough. What? The voice sounds familiar. Oh yeah, this is what I was talking about. How he met Hikaru in the bar right here, and they're good friends. Yes, they're homies. The voice sounds familiar. Shinji laughs at the non-greeting. I'm here on time. You're just early. Yes. Got nothing better to do on a Saturday? Nope. I did have a thing planned, but nothing serious. I just told her I had an emergency. It actually worked out better this way for me. Oh, I moved from behind Shinji. Both me and the other me nearly gasped out loud at who we see. Yes, Hikaru! Professor Kazuma, yes. Since I'm used to weird shit by now, I recover quickly than my other self. In that moment of shock, I mentally shoved the other me away. Just like, just pushes her out of the way. What, and she just let you cancel the date? No drama, no tears. Yes, oh, what was he talking about? Mostly... Oh, Hikaru's aqua eyes move to meet mine. He smiles up at me as he takes a sip of his drink. Ah, so this is who you brought along. Oh. I'm not sure that I've ever seen him smile like that, and definitely not at me. My stomach feels odd, tied up in knots. Oh my god, girl, don't fucking fall for his charms now. You have plenty of time to do that later. It'd be nice if he smiled at me like that more. Soon. Hello, Professor Kazuma. Shinji chuckles at my awkward reaction as he sits down. Not knowing what else to do, I sit down too. I nearly jump out of my seat when a drink is suddenly placed before me. I look up to see an unfamiliar face. It's probably... what's his face? I keep forgetting names, oh my god. Isao, yes. God, I'm so bad at names. Here you go, on the house. Yes. I want to say no, but I quickly realized that he brought drinks for everyone. Yes. Since when did on Shinji's tab become on the house? Who knows? Yes. Drink up and don't complain. Shinji rolls his eyes, but does just as the man suggested. He quietly takes a sip of his drink instead of saying anything more. I don't get a chance to say thank you before the man salutes us and walks back to the bar. Yeah. I look down at my glass. It's not exactly what I normally drink, but it's free. I have to be grateful. Yes. If you're wondering how he knew what to get you, I texted him before we came in. Oh? Yeah. Well, thanks. This me must have slightly different taste than I do. How strange. Oh, wow. Even that, really? Oh. With drinks flowing, I slowly start to feel braver and begin thinking over how to approach the situation. Well, I can't get rid of Shinji, but I can strike up a conversation, start gaining his trust. Yes. I never realized that you two were actually friends. Well, this is what we asked them anyways. In the me then and the me now. Friends and drinking buddies. Yes. They answer in sync as if it's something they've had to answer many times before. Yes, we went through this, so I see. Just how did you become friends then? Same group of, like they went to high school together or some shit like that. I don't know, I forgot. They glance at each other, smiles unchanging. I just can't get used to seeing the normally stern professor like this. We met while I was still a student, yes. Me, Hiki, and Tatsu ended up being thrown together for a group assignment. Hikaru chuckles, yeah. Only because you two wouldn't stop bickering like an old married couple, yes. Shinji shrugs. That still hasn't changed in years, yes. Speaking of my darling hubby, I nearly choke on my drink. If he were here, I'd really if he were here, it'd really be like old times, yes. If he heard you call him that, he'd make a scene. Then I might just do that next time I see him, yes. You might as well just marry him already. I'd be rejected before I even got halfway through the sentence. I quietly sip on my drink as I watch the two interact. Hikaru seems to have a long and varied history. He told me this was his first year teaching. He was a student just before that. I bet he made a lot of good friends, yes. While me, I haven't been able to get close to anyone. All I do is study, yes. Me, my life. I feel a slight stab of jealousy. I know it's ridiculous and completely illogical to feel like this. But I feel jealous of the people who were able to get close to him, of the people who were there to witness that history, that were able to be there for him. Yo, you have time to create new memories with him later, okay? Once you collect all his soul fragments. Hikaru's past is still a mystery to me, but something inside me wants to know more about it, wants to know more about him. You will! Don't worry. There's so many sides of him I haven't seen yet. I want to see more. A heavy sigh comes from next to me at the bar. What? Aw, what are you doing here? Except you're just like all solemn and, melancholy, not out to kill me in psycho bitch mode, you know? What's up? Maybe we can have a girl chat. Maybe I can actually talk to you like a decent human being or person. I glance over and see Tsuneka of all people sitting there. My heart stops cold. Yeah. But Tsuneka doesn't appear to be making a move other than tracing the rim of her glass with who knows what in it. Yeah. How the hell didn't I spot her before? Maybe she just appeared. The moment I ask myself that is the moment I realize the answer to my own question. Tsuneka is a goddess, a powerful one at that. If she didn't want me or anyone to spot her, then no one would. Yes. Judging by the look on his face, Hikaru spots her too, which makes Shinji turn and look as well. You two know that woman? Yes. Don't have a very good history with her. As of now, lately. Tsuneka glances at Shinji. You know, kid, I was just thinking. You look like a Fae King I used to advise for. He had hair just like yours. Possibly his father. Fierce temper though. Still, it was fun. What is she doing? Yeah, why are you being so pleasant right now? Is she actually trying to have a conversation with us, right? That was one of the better times I lived in, yeah, it was so peaceful in Avalon with Tokyo. Usually I liked places that were more lively and bustling, but Tokyo really loved peaceful areas like that. Okay. There was a time when Fae were peaceful? Yes. Oh, don't get me wrong, the Fae were as treacherous as they always were, conniving and violent. It was what made my job fun. I can't help it, despite myself, I'm curious. Why would someone like you need a job? When you can see the future, you're the perfect advisor when you feel like it. Like I said, it was fun. So it's just like a side thing. She's just like, let's just do it for fun. Let's just do it for the lulz. There are lots of things I can't change. But in my own little ways, I can cause chaos. Yes. As we have all witnessed. Are you gonna do it here now? That's the question. I can't imagine why Tsuneka is here rambling on about her past, other than the fact that she's crazy. She's bipolar is what she is. But seeing as she's being docile and I don't actually have any other options available, I continue to listen. Yeah. Tsuneka's demeanor changes completely then. Oh no. It wasn't like that for Tokyo though. He loved the land itself, the forests, the lakes, and the oceans, the architecture of the Fae, even the curious look he'd get on his face when he found something that interested him. It was adorable. Aww. With him, I learned to see what life could be, even if I didn't know my true purpose, my divine destiny. That kind of sounded like a song for a minute. Sorry. Okay. Anyways, if I could spend eternity with him, I wouldn't need anything else. Hikaru's face softens. Tsuneka. Hikaru glances at me and then subtly touches his earring. I give him an imperceptible nod. Yes, I Give me the soul so I can leave now before shit hits the fan with this girl. She just snaps on us and then just blows up the entire place or some shit. Okay, yes. He must have figured it out. I guess Tsuneka being here suddenly like this would be a pretty big clue. Yes. I never had the chance to know your lover, but from what I heard, he was extremely kind. Whatever you're up to. Isn't it true he wouldn't want you living your life like this, hurting others, right? Oh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. The moment Hikaru says that, I feel the previously relaxed atmosphere turn heavy, oppressive. She's gonna snap at him. Oh no, she's gonna be like, "You don't know him. What gives you the right to say that he'll think of that way?" How could you of all people say that to me? You have no idea of anything about him. See, I told you. I knew. She's kind of an easy to read kind of person. As much as she is bipolar. Or about anything about the truth of what happened to him. The feeling increased and every hair on my body begins to stand on end. I really need that soul fragment right now. Yet, you meddled in affairs you didn't understand. I want to run. Everything is telling me I should run, but I can't move. I need that soul piece. Hello? It's an effort to even force air into my lungs. You're the reason. Oh, is this? That I lost track of those who took him away from me. You're the reason I can't avenge Tokyo. Oh. Okay. Is this the power of a goddess? Yes, it is. You can't possibly know the pain of losing the other part of your soul. Oh. Well. Oh shit. TSUNEKA'S tiny body begins to float in the air as she screams. Oh my god. Floating in place, she unleashes her power. The ice in the glass I'm holding suddenly turns to water, while the wooden bar stool under me crumbles to dust. Glass shatters and turns to dust all around the bar as we're forced to retreat from the epicenter of the destruction. Isao stands behind the bar, completely frozen in time. One of the patrons of the bar tries to run out the door, but she turns into dust before she can even take a few steps. Oh shit! Another patron rapidly de-ages before my eyes, becoming a child. He cries and runs to hide under a table. Wow! What the actual fuck? Glancing at the people suffering around us, Hikaru steps forward towards Tsuneka, protecting his eyes with one hand. Tsuneka, girl, you don't need to. Maybe you're right that I don't know that exact pain. But I do know what it's like to lose someone I love, the woman I loved the most. I feel a pang of hurt at his words. Yes. But unlike me, Hikaru's words have no effect on Tsuneka, her powers just intensify. Hikaru steps back and sighs, throwing up some kind of light barrier to protect us from the effects of TSUNEKA'S magic. He stands there with his hands raised up, as if physically holding the barrier up to keep it going with all that he has. Shinji quickly moves his hands in a complicated-looking series of moves, and a light purple barrier doubles up on Hikaru's white one. There's no way to stop her, is there? No. No, not permanently. There is a ritual to seal her away, but she wouldn't allow that to happen a second time. Yes. Can't we still try? She's destroying everything. I know. She's destroying my favorite joint, man. I don't know the full ritual, only that someone must hold her down while it's being performed. Oh, well, I ain't gonna touch her. Jesus. Right, so that's a no-go then. They both fall silent as they look on at the mad goddess. Everything not within the barrier has been destroyed in one way or another. What now? Galinn, if you can hear me, we could really use your help. We could really use some help right about now. I half expect Galinn to ignore my plea for help, but I can clearly hear his deep voice in my head. My interference here would only cause more destruction at this time. You just need to get the soul fragment and get out of there, before you yourself suffer a fate worse than death. Right. Haruka's quiet advice sends a shiver down my spine. I avoid looking anywhere other than at Hikaru. I don't want to look at what happened to the other people in the bar. Is there no end to her madness? Well, my heart feels heavy as stone. I find that I can barely breathe, and this time it isn't because of TSUNEKA'S immense aura. I guess this is what happens when you're dealing with the divine. Yes, Galinn did warn us about it. No, Galinn didn't warn us about it. I think it was Hikaru that did. Shinji, Hana, I want you to go. I'm the only one here who could possibly survive this. Hikaru runs a hand through his hair, clearly stressed. Yes, I'd be stressed too. I'm half god, but my true form is unstable. I can't be trusted. Whoa. So I need you two to escape. What? No. Well, first of all, I can't do that because I need your soul fragment. I need it before I leave, if anything. She has to be stopped, and you're in the way. I know. Why don't I want to go so badly? I don't want to leave him. Yeah, but he's not even mine. My Hikaru. He'll never be, so why? Well, eventually he will be. Get it together, Hana. This isn't the time for that. In the midst of chaos, I summon the earring in my palm. Hikaru merely stares at me. Then he nods. Yes. I'll give you the other Hikaru's soul fragment, and then you need to leave. Okay. The god within me, he won't go down without a fight. I'll lose control either way at this rate. Okay. Shinji briefly glances at me, and I wonder if he might say something. Well, say it now, because we don't got time. He looks back at Hikaru with a strange glint in his eyes. I'm not leaving you, and don't even try to argue with me. Oh no. Oh my gosh. In a flash of light, Shinji transforms into what looks like full armor. We'll fight together. Shinji. Oh, Shinji me all you want. I'm not leaving you to fight alone. Man, what a homie! God, he a ride or die homie. True ride or die. A fae and a demigod together might stand a somewhat better chance against a goddess. Hikaru doesn't say anything, but a small smile tugs at his lips. It'll be like old times, right? Fighting insane divines. Yes, you got each other! I'm a little bit more, less worried. The two men exchange glances. With a nod, Shinji holds up his hands to hold the barrier in place, just as Hikaru lets go and turns to face me. We don't have much time. No shit. Thank you. He closes his eyes and places his hand over his chest. And just like before, he quickly calls out the other Hikaru's soul fragment. I hear Tsuneka scream out in rage, and I almost freeze up in terror. I force myself to summon the soul box. The moment that I shut the box around the soul fragment, I feel a tug on my soul. Okay, bye guys, I hope you can get through this! No, wait. Go, now. But we kinda have no choice. Yes, the last thing I see is a bright light forming around Hikaru and the barrier disintegrating. Ugh. My god, that was a fucking mess. I nearly collapsed upon returning back to my own body. Well, at least it was less of a mess than what we've experienced thus far. The drastic difference between the adrenaline and stress I was feeling versus the calmness of this body is disorienting. Right? Yes, I wouldn't even want to imagine that. You're so pumped and you're so stressed, and then all of a sudden you're like, okay, out of danger. Haruka walks over to me and helps steady me. Are you alright, Hana? Well, peachy, I guess. I nod and, pushing my glasses back, stand up as straight and tall as I can. I calmly look at Haruka in her eyes. I have to know, how can she keep doing this? Haruka. Yes? Don't you have any attachment to the other Hikarus in the other timelines? Of course, I am his mother. So how is it that you can just watch something like that happen? Well, what else am I supposed to do, right? Already, you're not supposed to interfere with the timelines of that universe, so I'm assuming she's trying to stay out of it as much as possible, even though she really wants to help that Hikaru, but she just can't, because that'll mess things up even more. The answer shocks me, especially from someone like her. You're a goddess, surely you can go down and help him. Ugh, but I'm not strong enough. Ugh. It's then that Galinn strolls up to us. He glances at Haruka's distressed face and then looks at me. Gods are the keepers of the universal order. They are bound by many rules, and as such they cannot change things, not unless they are meant to be. Yes. Even the smallest of changes can result in utter chaos, and that goes against their very being, seeing as they were born out of and for order. Yes, I figured. I frown up at him. I mean, it sucks, because you're an all-powerful god, but you can't do shit. But Galinn, are you not a god too? You speak as if what Haruka is completely different. Yes. You seem to be able to change things, and aren't you bound by any rules? Well, he's the god of chaos. He's like, fuck the rules, He's like, that's my nature. That's what I'm here. That's my purpose. Only self-imposed ones. Yes. The only thing we truly share is that we are both called gods, but that's the story for another time. So many stories that I want to know, girl. All this tea that you're not spilling. But back to the topic at hand. They cannot interfere with things easily. Yes. And gods aren't all of the same power. Some are more powerful, some are less. Yes. Tsuneka happens to be a particularly powerful one. Yeah, I figured. And as such, there is little that Haruka would be able to do against her. Oh, that sucks. Oh, yeah. I'm sorry, Haruka. I shouldn't have presumed. Yes. Haruka quietly stares at the ground, and I begin to regret going down this particular path. But before I can say anything else, she looks up at me with a sad smile. It's okay. I wish I was stronger, and braver too. That's why I respect my son so much. No matter what timeline it is, he's always someone who fights to protect others. His life is never easy, so sometimes he can seem very harsh. But it's because of the kindness in his heart that he endlessly fights to protect others' happiness. Aw. Kindness. Yeah, he's a nice dude once you get past all the brooding and the scowling. It's not a side of Hikaru I felt I had really seen before all of this began. Yeah. But thinking back, I begin to think that Haruka is right. He shows kindness in his own way. Like, very small gestures, you know? Hikaru was strict and sometimes almost rude, but he never treated me badly. Hikaru seems to be a complex man. Yes, he is. Very. He is. Not many actually take the time to really get to know him. But he has many sides to himself and always has a reason for what he does. I hope you've begun to understand him a little better too. Yeah. I nod. Something in me believes that I have, but I feel there's so much left to still uncover. Right. There's still so much I don't know, but I'll keep going until I figure it out. Yes. Oh wow, okay, damn. Oh well, again, like I said, I think it's gonna be less and less that we visit these cosmos because, what's it called? We don't really see much of Hikaru in any of them. Like, the most we saw from him was, again, the Phoenix. But I'm gonna see where I am for time, and then maybe I can try to squish in the detective one, or maybe I can leave that one and then, you know, progress from there kind of thing, you know? Because I know for a fact after Cosmos of the Detective, we would progress with the story on afterwards. So let's see. You know what? No, let's do this. Let's just get it done. I'm not even at my hour mark yet, so let's do this. So I can feel myself shaking. I can't take my eyes off the motionless form on the ground. Blood is pouring from everywhere, the man's eyes, ears, and mouth, and for some reason my hands are up. Yes! Oh, this is where she killed the guy by, like, just kind of using the force on him. Did I do this? Yes, you did. I feel a wave of nausea come over me, looking at the man on the floor. I can hear the other me thinking in the background, too stunned to realize my presence. Is he... Yeah, he's dead. I take the opportunity to wrest mental control away from her, despite how horrified I am. Okay, so where did we meet Hikaru here? I realized that, yeah, this is the fight that broke out in the apartment scene, but, like, where's Hikaru? Looking around the room, I see a small woman with transparent wings and two black-haired men fighting hooded men. Clearly winning as they take down their opponents, yes. Seriously though, what the hell is going on here? Yes. Oh. I hear a metallic click right next to my head and the feeling of cold metal suddenly against my temple. Yes. This is where we get shot, in the head. I can't even turn around to see who it is. In this moment of stillness and absolute fear, my eyes drift to the center of the room where Takumi of all people is grappling with a man in a hood. I'm with Takumi. Yes, you are. I see bodies everywhere in the room and I have no idea where I am or what's going on. Well, you are in the middle of a brawl. This is his mess? My god, just what kind of awful shit is he into? Yes, you'd be surprised. He's lying on the floor on his back, a knee in the vampire's stomach as he's relentlessly stabbing him. I feel my knees starting to buckle beneath me at the image. Yes, this must be a big shock to you, huh? Why am I in this situation? What the hell is wrong with this me? Yeah, what the hell is wrong with this me? My stomach seizes up in fear and disgust, but I know if I make one wrong move now, I'll have a bullet in my head. What happens if I die here? Is this me immortal too? Yes, it is. Don't worry, girl. But it's just that I don't think you have the time to waste to get shot in the head and then, you know, be in a comatose for like what? A week? A month or some crazy shit like that? Tossing the vampire off of him, Takumi rolls to his knees and is about to get up when he looks up at me, yes. God, I don't even know why I tripped over that. Then at the gun pointed right at me. Yes, and finally at whoever is holding the gun to my head behind me, yes. The person moves slightly and I can finally see my assailant, though it gives me no comfort. It's like, I don't know who this girl is. No. Yes. There are some questions you should be asking yourself right now. Should yet another person die because of you? Is your comatose brother really worth your pretty girl dying for? Komoto's brother? Yasu? Wait, I'm Takumi's girlfriend? Yes, you are, in this timeline. Will you really make another mistake due to your own recklessness? Could you live with the guilt of this one? But I'm not gonna die, girl, it's all good. Taku's visibly thrown off and stares at her with wide eyes trembling. He doesn't react even as the other vampire rips his dagger away from him, throws it, and holds Takumi's arms behind his back. I'm scared, terrified out of my mind, but I try not to let it show. Instead, I think about how to get away from this freak show. The woman practically whispers, all traces of her smile gone. I am so terribly curious to see what will happen to you, my dear immortal. Well, I'm not gonna die is what it is. Ah! Oh! The woman in red crumples to the floor. I spin around to see... Oh! Tsuneka! What a pleasant surprise. It's you of all people to get me out of this mess, only to cause an even bigger one. Tsuneka standing there, holding what seems to be the woman in red's large gun. Improbably, she spins it around her small finger with ease, making the heavy gun look as light as air. She looks around the room at the carnage. She's like, this is my kind of scene. The one or two hooded people that remain standing simply stare at Tsuneka in shock, along with everyone else in the room. Tsuneka lets out a low whistle. Who are you? Oh. Takumi's question seems to catalyze the one of the hooded figures into action, and she lunges at Tsuneka with an inhumane roar. But Tsuneka only tilts her head and puts a tiny hand out with a smile. Where her hand stops, a ripple suddenly spreads through the air, outward and through everyone around her in a circle, including me. What is she doing now? No. The others all freeze where they are, and I find that I can't move either. Oh, she stopped. She froze time. Completely still like a statue, yet I can still see I'm conscious. She must have stopped time. Yes. I will myself to move, to blink, but nothing happens. Really, people are so rude these days, don't you think? Well, I say these days, but in reality, people never change. Am I right, old immortal sorceress? But I'm not who you think I am. What to do here? I wanted to cause some trouble, but there's already so much. Yes. They're spoiling my fun. Fun? How is any of this fun? Well, to her, of course, because she's fucked up like that. I don't like that. But it's cool. It's cool. Tsuneka stops twirling the gun around. This thing must be a bit heavy, even for demon trash. Heavy enough to knock her out anyway. Heh. Oh, and then she just like pistol whips her. I wonder how it shoots. I can only watch as Tsuneka, lightning fast, spins around and throws her gun-wielding hand out. Uh-oh. Holding the gun askew, Tsuneka shoots the time-frozen Takumi point blank in the chest. I was... Even before she was saying how like, oh, I want to know how it shoots, I was either thinking she's gonna shoot Takumi or she's gonna shoot, what's it called? Del Boss, but that wouldn't make sense. Oh my god. Bang. I can't do anything, not even scream. Tsuneka opens up a portal and steps through it, twirling her fingers at me in farewell. Toodaloo! Bitch. Fuck. The second Tsuneka is gone, time restarts, and Takumi immediately sucks in a sharp breath of pain and collapses to the ground. The bullet goes right through him into what would be the vampire in red, but he moves quickly out of the way, and a poor unfortunate hooded vampire gets it instead. Well, lucky you. Takumi! I rush to Takumi's side, stumbling over some unconscious bodies. But the tiny winged woman makes it there first and props him up on her knees. Aurelia, yes. Her name comes to me in a faint whisper. Takumi, what the hell just happened? Well, a goddess just fucked shit over. Ugh, never mind. We need a healer. Fast. I'll do what I can in the meantime. So where does Hikaru show up? Aurelia starts working, trying to heal Takumi, who's already near unconscious and groaning on the floor. I stand there useless, watching her small hands deftly work to stop the bleeding. What do I do? Oh, I don't know, girl! Why was I sent to this moment? This is a mess. If Tsuneka hadn't just appeared out of nowhere, well, we couldn't have stopped that. She's a goddess, for crying out loud. She has a penchant for that. If she hadn't appeared, what would have happened? Would I be the one bleeding out on the floor? Yeah. Before I can so much as form another thought, Naoki suddenly grabs me and stares me down. Girl, what? Go to Hagiwara. One of the best healers I know is Professor Kazuma. Ah, so this is where he steps in. If you want that boy to survive, find him and send him here. After he finishes up, send him to my home. Jun needs assistance too. Okay. With that, Naoki turns and goes to attend to what looks to be his twin brother. Yeah. As he steps away from me, I manage to calm myself somewhat. Okay, time to teleport. I run out of the house with tears still running down my face, but I can hardly afford to wait. There's so much happening that I don't know how long it would take me to stop my tears. All I know is that I must find Hikaru for more than one reason now. Yeah. The twins are gone now. The twins are gone when I get back. Yeah, Aurelia is sitting on the couch, out of Hikaru's way, with worried eyes and small hands still covered in blood. She looks so numb, unmoving, as she watches Hikaru work. I can't say that I feel any relief, but I do feel less useless at having been able to locate Hikaru and bring him here, and in record timing. Jesus, I don't even know how far it is, like, this apartment is from Hagiwara, but damn, girl, you managed to get him here and there before, like, Takumi just bleeds out. With my eyes glued to Takumi's pale face, my mind starts to drift. Okay. Oh, right. When I had burst into Hikaru's office, he had seemed to instantly pick up that there was an emergency. I had managed to stammer out how there had been a shooting and that a professor with a cold look and black hair had sent me here. I barely know who any of these people are or who I'm supposed to go back to, but somehow I managed to save the address in my phone at least. Hikaru had immediately put his jacket on, ready to go. He followed me out without delay. It's strange. I feel like I know those people. I remember their names, but they all feel so distant to me at the same time, of course. Because the you then knows, and you know, you're technically the still same you, but oh my god, it's just complicated, okay, girl? All I'm saying is that you know them. I stare out the window at the moving scenery. My thoughts keep turning back to the carnage I saw. Seeing Takumi get shot right in front of me, I can't stop myself from replaying that image in my mind over and over again. I mean, roles have switched. I mean, I was the one who was shot in his route, but now this time in this universe and this kind of happening, and you know, Hikaru's he's the one who's shot. The image of him just lying there, completely motionless in a pool of blood, his blood, and when we got here, Hikaru had only grimly stared down at Takumi for a moment before getting to work. I have considered just telling him everything about my mission now so I can get out of here, but not the right time. One look at Takumi stops me in my tracks. No, I can't. I brought this mess upon this timeline, and I need to be the one to fix it. Professor, do you think you can really help Takumi? There's so much blood. Yeah. Is he alive still, after losing so much? Hikaru turns to me with a sad smile, but he never stops his work, not even for a second. You may not know this, but I'm pretty proud of my skills. I'm one of the best healers in Japan. Wow! Damn! I've brought people back from near death. Hell, maybe I could even bring someone back from the dead. Oh, wow. Impressive. Hikaru grows quiet. If I tried hard enough, then can you try hard? Thinking of Takumi as dead, it leaves me feeling cold. Although we hadn't spent much time together lately, I had caught up with my childhood friends somewhere between the endless lessons that Hikaru was putting me through. I fight back the tears at the memory of my old friend, back when he was still much shorter than me. You better make it, you shrimp. I focus back on Hikaru. Can I help at all, even though my healing isn't that good? Maybe there's something. Hikaru shakes his head. Yeah, no. Healers have to be experienced with working together, or they'll just get in the way of each other. Please, just trust me instead. Okay. Alright, I stand in the doorway watching. I did decide to have faith in Hikaru's abilities, especially since I know he is half god. But that should count for something, right? Right. If anyone can do it, it's Hikaru. I look at Takumi's body on the floor, drenched and surrounded by a pool of his own blood, so pale now. So pale. I feel my heart sink. I watch like a hawk to make sure his chest continues to rise and fall, but I can't actually tell anymore. There's a steady stream of blood leaking out of his mouth, and I desperately want to do something about it. Hikaru's face is as severe as ever as his hands glow, lying upon Takumi's chest. I glance up at Aurelia. She seems to simply be staring blankly at Takumi with no life in her eyes. I look back at Takumi's unconscious form. Oh, come on, please. He looks so cold, so dead. Why does he look so dead? He's alive, right? He's fine, right? I don't know, girl. He's going to be fine, right? I don't know. Seconds stretch into minutes that feel like hours with no change, except sweat beating and dropping from Hikaru's forehead. I stand there, shaking, unable to sit or move or do anything myself. Finally, Hikaru stands up. Well, I want to move toward him, but I can't bear to cross Takumi. Instead of meeting anyone's eyes, he looks out the window and shakes his head. He's dead? Real? In a barely audible whisper, he says the two words I didn't want to hear. I'm sorry. That's it. That's all that's said, and the room grows completely silent. The silence seems to intensify until it's nearly deafening, yet no one moves or makes a sound. My mind is blank. My eyes just fall on Takumi's deathly pale body and the never-ending stream of blood coming from it. I look at the small winged woman, almost expecting her to be able to do something. As if she, an actual denizen of this timeline denying it, would somehow make the truth less real. But she doesn't say anything. She merely stands up and walks over to Takumi's body. She kneels by his side, uncaring about the blood. She takes his pale hand in her dark one and simply bows her head. I look at Hikaru, who doesn't even glance back at Takumi's body as he moves past me. I don't turn around to see where he's going. I hear the door close behind me. Girl! Barely anything changes in the room. Not Aurelia's position, and not Takumi's, not ever again. The only thing that does change is that small drops of water fall from Aurelia's hidden face, covered by her hair, falling and intermixing with the blood on the floor. That's when something snaps. Something snaps in me. Something breaks and I can't take it anymore. Can't take being in this room anymore. I spin around on my heel and head to the door, throwing it open. Well, we either way, we gotta chase him down because we're here on a mission, girl. I stop outside in the hallway. Casualties will happen, but we're here on a mission. He said he'd save him. He said to trust in him. I can barely contain my anger. I want to scream and punch someone. I'm going to find him. I storm down the hallway. Well, he shouldn't have gone far. I don't have to go far before I find Hikaru himself. I almost bypass him entirely. There's a huddled figure hiding in the shadows of Aurelia's building when I come out and pay no mind to it until I hear a choked back sob rip through the night. Of course you'll feel bad about it, girl. Come on. I stop and look back. Hikaru? Yeah. Hikaru looks up, and I see that the pitiful form is in fact him, squatting down, holding himself in his arms, and carrying up his leather coat dragging on the wet ground. He looks away, seemingly ashamed, but doesn't change positions. You said I could trust you, you promised. Why? Why? I don't want to antagonize him. I don't want to, make him feel more like shit than he already did. He already is. Why? Why? Why did Takumi have to die? I don't know. It's just could he have been saved if we got there quicker, or what could have possibly been done to save him? I don't know. I never know. Then what do you know? All the anger I felt vanishes from my heart, leaving only the immense pain. It feels as if it's caught in a vice, slowly getting crushed. I turn and plop myself down on the ground next to the crouching man. Thankfully, no one actually pays us any mind. Tears flow down my face before I even fully realize it. Yeah. You said that you would save him. I whisper weakly, my voice cracks under the weight of tears. Hikaru doesn't answer this time. He doesn't have to. We remain like this in silence for a while, until he eventually begins to speak. It's times like this that I remember I'm human too. I hold such limited power. I don't know what to say or how to comfort him. I still can't entirely get over or ever accept the fact that he seems so emotionally shaken as well. Well, of course! Is he acting? No, why would he be? Not after leaving like that. Right? Girl, he knew Takumi too, okay? He may not have been close, but he knew him. This isn't the first time it's happened, that I failed to save someone. I always hope it'll be the last, but I'm so sorry. I've hurt you more than necessary by giving you false hope. Because I was overconfident. I'll remember just how weak I really am from now on. No, I'll pay penance however I can for this sin and others. I sense Hikaru's deep pain, but I don't feel like I can do anything to remotely touch it. However, Hikaru, this isn't your... Hikaru, it wasn't your fault. It's not your sin. It's... I take out Hikaru's earring and show it to him. Where did you get that? Are you... Yes, I nod. If this is anyone's fault, it's mine. I came here to try to save you, but Tsuneka followed me. She took advantage of the situation, of the chaos. She's the one who shot Takumi. If it's anyone's sin, it's mine for coming here, knowing I would bring chaos in my wake. Hikaru says nothing. He merely takes the earring out of my hand and gently strokes it with his thumb. Then maybe Takumi was the one who was punished because the pride we both held. Still, it was Tsuneka who pulled the trigger. She's the one who needs to pay for all of this, right? I mean, she did more than just kill Takumi. She fucked up on a lot of people's lives. But I agree, but I don't know if I can do anything. I'm not powerful enough to stop a god. But you're not alone in this, are you? You have Galinn on your side and my mother. And my mother, yes. And the other Hikarus across the timeline too. If there's any way to set this right, promise me that you will. Of course, duh! Like, I feel bad too. I feel like shit for like fucking shit up because I gotta save your other self. Hikaru closes his eyes and places his hand over his chest, repeating what the previous Hikaru had done. Alright. As the soul fragment appears, so does the box Galinn had given me, and I quickly secure the fragment. Looking into Hikaru's sparkling yet intense eyes, I feel my own resolve strengthen too. I nod, numbing the pain inside me for now. I focus on this growing feeling inside me, this determination to set things. With my task accomplished, I stand up. I then extend my hand to Hikaru, who looks up at me wide-eyed. He accepts my hand without comment, and I help him up to his feet. If there's a way, I'll find it, no matter how long it takes. In the meantime, please don't lose hope. When everything's set right again, we'll let you know. Hikaru merely nods, and I look up at the sky. I'm not sure where the two gods are watching me from, but I find myself drawn to the moon. I feel the familiar tug on my soul. But even as I'm being pulled back into Galinn's realm, I can't stop my thoughts. Isn't it just my own pride that caused all this, that killed Takumi? Isn't it just vanity that makes me think I have a right to risk lives, no, entire worlds, to save someone just because I owe them? Or just why am I really doing all of this anyway? Oh my gosh, she's having a crisis. In a blink, I'm back in my body again. The numbness from the other world follows me here. My eyes are trained at the floor beneath me, but when I look up, my eyes fall on Galinn. He only stares evenly back at me. I feel like I've got some questions for the god. Alright, I approach him with that goal. Ask if he can help Takumi, yell at him for not helping Takumi, beg him to help Takumi. Ask him! I feel like I want to ask him. Like, dude, you brought me into this mess. Can you at least try to do something? Ask him if he can help. Galinn. Yes. Can you help Takumi? Can you bring him back? I can. Ooh, really? Then he's like, but for a big price, but I won't. Why not? What? Why the hell not? Because I cannot guarantee that it would be Takumi anymore. Oh, right, it's kind of like with Sho. Oh, no. Give up, try to change his mind. Oh, man. Oh, my, all these choices! Just tell me why. Just tell me how. Like, what would be different about him? Like, how different? Unhappy with the god's answer, I feel white-hot anger take over my whole body. I get close to Galinn and point a finger up at his face. Sounds like a load of bullshit to me. Either you're an almighty powerful god or you're a total fraud. Or maybe you don't really care about anyone but your fucking self anyway. Oh god, girl. Oh no, Hana, please. Haruka starts wringing her hands. Please calm down. I refuse to. I'm tired of going through all of this shit while he sits up here in his little safe place. He could fix it all with a snap of his fingers, couldn't he? But instead, people like Takumi and Hikaru have to suffer. Oh, this is not how I wanted to approach things at all. Haruka walks up to me and places her hands on my arms, trying to gently drag me out of Galinn's face. I understand you're upset, but please, I urge you to stop. Galinn is usually as patient as he is powerful. But most any god would get upset with the level of disrespect you're giving him right now. Why should I respect anyone who would sit by when he could be helping people instead? Oh shit. I get up right in Galinn's face. Oh shit. Oh shit. You're as cruel as you are useless. No! Oh, I fucked up. Hana, no! Oh shit. Galinn leans down to get a closer look at me, and for the first time since he dragged me out of the nowhere, I start to feel like I might choke. It's like the air around us becomes so heavy that I can barely stand. Cruel, am I? Some call me outright evil, and I see you see it the same way as them. I am far worse than you can possibly imagine. I hear Haruka's distant yell, but it feels like trying to hear things underwater. Well, bye. I fucked up. This is where I fucked up. Yeah, I fucked up for sure. I should have given up, but I wanted to know why he would say that. Okay, well, Haruka's words die in her mouth as Hana disappears. Yes. Let's just get through this. She stares at the god who she has only known as kind. Even knowing his other titles, she always knew that he was. But in this moment, she could no longer see that part of him. Before her stood not Galinn, her old friend, but Ioworth, the god killer. I'll go now. I'll take Hikaru with me. Ceasing to exist, I don't know that she deserved that fate, Galinn. But I don't want to make you any angrier. I'm frightened of you. Right now, I'll go. Haruka gently cradles her son in her arms and places a tear-stained kiss on his forehead. And in a gust of wind, the two of them disappear. Galinn looks up at the endless chaos beyond the walls of the Colosseum. Yeah. Oh. Goodbye, old friend. He calmly whispers to the wind. He snaps his fingers and... What? Oh, and the lights turn out. Yes! Yay! Erased! Okay, well I got a bad ending, which is great, which means, that means official bad ending of Hikaru, not that fake ass one that played me. But anyways, I should have known she would get heated. Oh my god. I just wanted to know what would happen, how different would Takumi be if you brought him back? Tell me. I didn't mean to get up in your face like that, girl. Anyways, whatever. That just means that yes, this is an indefinite ending. That means we don't have to really go back. We got our work cut out for us when I go back and try to get the official bad endings and other endings for Hikaru. So anyways, there you go, guys. Sorry I ended off on a bad ending. Again, kind of, sort of. But anyways, yes, so there's that. Yep, okay. Anyways, so in the next episode for sure, we're gonna pick up where we last left off, which is basically, give up on the fact that, try to convince him to bring Takumi back, because, we gotta accept it. As much as I hate it, as much as we all hate it, and I feel bad and I feel like shit, but we gotta accept it. It's maybe we can fix it all in the end, who knows. Maybe it's not now, but later. Anyways. So yeah, until next time, you guys, we'll be back for more Mystic Destinies, but until then, bye!